Unless of course what we didn't talk about is the the local models. So but we're talking about the big frontier models. Of course, you've got all these Chinese open weight models that are in effect free or very, very cheap. And then you got the likes of Google releasing things like Gemma 4, which was their local model. I think that's going to play a big part when people realize that, calling these APIs are going to become very, very expensive. They'll look at ways of becoming more efficient with their AI usage. And you can imagine a world where maybe 80% of AI queries will go through their local model, and maybe
Mhm.
they'll only call the more expensive models for very, very complex tasks. I think that's going to be a part of the future.
Mm,
This is unsustainable. It's
it is.
unsustainable at the moment.
It is there, energy consumption, water consumption. There's a lot going on. That's why there is a race for everybody now. Countries, right? Governments, they don't want to be left behind. Companies, they don't want to be left behind. And everybody needs more computing power. And that's where these big, humongous data centers are coming into play. The future of it depends a lot on the computing power that you have to back you up your operations
Yeah, and data centers in space.
or underwater or a little bit above water, floating data centers. I
I
was
know.
reading the other day floating
No. Where
data
else are you going to
center.
go? It's mad, isn't it?
You know what's funny, James? I was reading the other day about these floating ideas, floating data centers, and the main concern about the reporter was, oh, but the main concern is because since you are floating, then you will need to use a satellite connection to send information back and forth, and that will take longer than your instant response.
I know we've got
Okay.
very greedy, haven't we? We've got so used to this technology in such a small space of time that we moan when it takes anything more than a few seconds to get like on tap intelligence.
Are you kidding me that that's the main concern? The speed of the response.
It's
I
mad.
had to laugh.
It doesn't surprise me though, because we're weird people, human beings. We get
Yeah.
very used to. Have you heard of this thing called the Overton window, which is an
No,
amazing
what it is.
theory, which is basically that what sounds like crazy today becomes tomorrow's reality very, very quickly, and then we get used to that new reality really, really quickly. So, wind back 20 years, right, and just the thought of the things that we live with now, mobile phones, which are basically the most powerful computer in our
Mm.
hands, yeah, like ridiculously fast internet, artificial intelligence, AR, VR, talking about quantum computing breakthroughs, humanoid robots. People would have thought you were mental talking about that. And we've just got used to it really, really quickly. And then we'll, as soon as we get used to that, we'll start like laughing about the next big breakthrough as if that's ridiculous. Well, there's no reason at all why that should be ridiculous. I was talking to somebody the other day about, nanobot technology and the fact that at some point in the not too distant future, these nanobots, the chips in them are going to be able to be small enough to put into like almost something the size of a cell, and then we're going to be able to put it into our bodies. And this is exactly Ray Kurzweil's hypothesis, if you've read any of his books, the Singularity books. But, these people are just good friends, but they're just absolutely laughing at me, saying they've been ridiculous. And I'm thinking, yeah, go back 10 years, you would have been laughing about what we're doing now, right? So
I think
we're
we've
strange
gotten
creatures.
too way easy. We've gotten too way easy, especially with AI, to
Yeah,
the point
absolutely.
that we worry about that. But at the end of the day, it's humans, right?
Yeah, we are weird.
This is who we are. This is the species we belong.